morning and welcome to the Knitting Samurai and Her Guys video podcast. This is episode 177, 176. I'm your host Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai, and I have a problem remembering details. Actually, I have an hour between appointments today and I really wanted to record. It's going to be 93 degrees here today, so that is hide inside with air conditioning type of day for me. But right now it's 72 and the birds are chirping, and I just dropped Roland off at his swimming camp, whatever. It's just a rec camp that he goes to for the first 2 weeks of summer. I just dropped him off and I really wanted to take advantage of being outside and record here. This is one of my favorite places. When I was on maternity leave with Tristan, this is about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes away from our house, and so it's just enough time. You feed him, you put him in the car seat, you drive, he falls asleep, you sit, put the windows down and knit. So that's what I did a lot. So it has very pleasant memories for me. Oh, that was a different kind of chirpy chirp that I'm used to. It is a roasting here today, and I can tell you right now it's the kind of day that's gonna have a lot of captioning because my brain is just, it's been a little slow lately. So first thing I want to show you, or I'll tell you, I have socks, I have blanket progress, I have something for the X Games for the splash pad party, a little project. I have new project bags. I have an old project because I felt like I didn't have enough content, so I wanted to show you something that I knit in between during my hiatus. And I have a shop update, so let's get into it. First up, let's see. Oh, not much progress since you last saw these soccer socks. So soccer season is over, and these live in the car, and they're clearly not getting enough love. So this is some Barocco sock, 2x2 rib on the front, plain stockinette on the back. And I'm knitting them on size zeros because I like a tiny needle. So there's that, and it's riding in my, I don't think I've talked about this bag before, but this is one of my Stitch by Jessalou bags, one of the square. It's kind of malformed, but it's one of my all-time favorite colors, favorite bags. It's so pretty. So Stitch by Jessalou, and it has this great butterfly pull on it. So there's that. I did buy something. I bought something this week. Actually 2 weeks ago. It took a little while to get here. So Uli, I follow her on Instagram, creation, I can't remember her name, but she's so funny, and her daughter Erica are both hilarious. I love seeing what they're up to. But she had an update. She's up in Canada and the prices were amazing, so I couldn't resist. Or she had a sale, not an update, she had a sale. So I went in for 2 project bags, and she does these great, I'll put her shop on here because I'm a bad podcaster. She does these great chainmail pulls with the pink beads and the charm, and then this one has teal, not beads, teal rings, and a heart that says handmade with love. What's that sound? I don't know. So we're inside a bay right now, I think, and then the larger, the ocean's that way. This leads to the ocean, but that is actually a little tiny, it's a helicopter. So there are like 3 hospitals around here, and occasionally you see one of the red helicopters. So that's what's flying by, making all that noise right now. Gosh, she's loud. I hope you're okay. Be safe. My aunt Bonnie, who was visiting last week, she's my favorite aunt. I love her so much. I don't think I'm hurting anybody's feelings. No, I'm not. She's my mom's younger sister. She's so fun. She's so fun. She took me to a bar when I was 5. That's like the family joke, because she was a single lady. She was 20 when I was born, so she was like 25 and took me to a bar. And her daughter is LT, who's my cousin, who's 15 years younger than me. And then my boys are 15 years younger than LT. We've got this weird, even though my mom and her sister are only 2 years apart, but this weird 15-year gap going on. But anyway, so AB, Aunt Bonnie, she was around this past week, but they live in very northern Maine, right on the border, Madawaska, because some of you are from Canada, so maybe you know where Madawaska is. And she's a 5th grade teacher, and my uncle did some government job up there. I don't know, something with the soil and farming. And he's retired now, but before he retired, he had something happen with his heart, and he had to go on one of those life lifts sounds about right. One of those flights, because there wasn't a hospital that could handle him around where they were, to Bangor, Maine. And my mom and I could actually drive to him faster from New Hampshire than my aunt could. And so he rode on one of those helicopters. We met up with him in the emergency room. There was blood everywhere. It was horrible. And he was a wreck. I've never seen him like that. This big giant of a man in tears and just like, I love you so much, thank you. Just glad to be alive. And so we actually were there with him before she could get there. And my cousin was in college. I think she was in college. Maybe she was still in high school. No, she was in high school because she went home with one of her friends, and my aunt just like flew like a bat. Anyways, down to the hospital. But whenever I see one of those helicopters, I'm so thankful, because it was because of one of those helicopters that my uncle's alive. There were bugs here. Yeah, anyways, so, yeah. So, helicopter. You know, I get distracted. So in this bag is nothing exciting. How about in this bag? Nothing exciting. So I will show you. This was, I told you, oh my gosh, I think they're like deer flies or something. They're not normal size flies. They're like big and brown and spotty, and they've landed on me like 3 times. Get off my calves. It's the lotion. I'm just so sweet. So this is a blanket. You've seen all the progress, right? I'm gonna throw a picture in here to show you how the shape of it. I tried to square it off to make it, actually, you know what? We're in a place where I can do this. So I tried to make it a hexagon, but it didn't really work. So this is about the width that I want. If I think about this as the top edge, although I don't want this one on an outside edge, remember? But there, you could see how it's going. Doing a little blocking here, a little stretching. So I got it to a manageable shape, no big holes in it or anything. And I decided to stop and cast on for the second quarter. I'm thinking about them as quarters. So this one, I started with a blue, and I'm gonna be a little more organized with this one. I'm gonna do rings out. Oh, that bugs! I love you. I'm doing this because I love you. I'm gonna do rings out and around of hexes so that I don't end up with a weird shape. So every other hex, I'm doing my stashed yarn, like my scraps, and then one that I traded and got. So like this is some Knit Picks, whatever, Stroll Glimmer, I think is what it's called, that has the stellina in it. And then this one's from Linda. Naughty Knitter 54, I think is her name. Thanks, Linda. This one's from Linda. This one's from Linda. This center one's from Linda. I love this blue. Look at that. Oh, it's gorgeous. This one's from Linda. I'm clearly not doing it every other. This one's from my stash. So I'm not placing them. That's what I should say. I'm not placing them like every other. I'm placing them where they would look good, but I am knitting them every other. So this one, I don't know what it is. It's a yarn I've never knit with. I've had in my stash for a long time. And so I swapped it out with people, and I don't know that I'll knit with it. I mean, it's pretty enough, but I'm just not into it. I'm just not that into you. This is some Knit Picks Felici in, I don't remember what that blue was, but it's the blue that I used for the stripes and square socks. So, and right now I have in progress, I've started on the second ring out. This is some of the Luxe thread. I think it's the Joanne house brand yarn. I knit my mother-in-law a pair of socks out of that. So super happy to have that going, and I'm knitting a hex a day. So you should see 7 more hexes by the next time I record. I actually wanted to, oh my God, both my boys say that all the time, that word, and I say it, and now I'm catching myself saying it because they learned it from me, clearly. But I wanted to record last week, but I stopped myself because it was like, I have nothing to show. So no, I'm not gonna just talk to myself about not knitting. This is my Knit Picks. I have them with me because I was planning to sit and knit, by the water and cast on a new hat for myself. So this is some Malabrigo Purple Mystery, and I'm holding it with a strand of this yarn. This is what Pam, Plover Bird, I think, she just was like, I'm just gonna send you a bunch of scraps. This is not a scrap, this is a skein of yarn. So I'm gonna use it to make a project, and then I'm going to put it in the blanket. But I was holding a strand of each to get to a bulky weight yarn, and you can see I got really far, really super far on this hat. I know, I put in so much time, it's so hard to believe, but that's as far as I got. I want to do one of those hats that has either a top bun hole or a ponytail hole in the back. Oh, my hair is falling. So this is hair circa 1989. Yeah. I was up super early this morning, and so I put on makeup for you, and I wore a pretty shirt, and I braided my hair because I wanted to do something with my hair besides a ponytail, but it's falling down in the back, even though I hairsprayed a lot out of it. So anyways, that's what's in there. More to come on that. We'll see if that hat survives or whose pattern I follow or how it turns out. So the other project I have to share with you, I might have to go. It didn't fall out. Did I throw it aside and then throw it back in and not even realize what I was doing? I do things without thinking. Nope, it's right here. So, so this is for the Splash Pad Party X Games, and that's being hosted by Jen of Downseller Studios. I am sponsoring that, so if you are partaking in that, you can get some extra points by using the exclusive flip-flop stitch marker I made for that. And I think I have one on here. I have to take all these off because part of the reason I stopped knitting on this was that it weighed 900 pounds, and part of the weight issue is from all of these beautiful stitch markers. Stop dangling. Stop it right now. So that's one of them. That's the yellow. The blue is by far the favorite. Those are all sold out. I still have some pink and the bright green sets and the yellow set. So if you haven't gotten any, go get some. So anyways, for that, one of the prompts for the X Games, that I'm not doing the whole thing, but I just wanted to do the X Games because I thought it would motivate me to do some different knitting, some things I normally wouldn't knit. So we needed some more washcloths. I noticed a lot of ours are white. So they're getting well bleached and sanitized and cleaned up, so that means they're old. So I needed some new ones. So I gave this a try. I don't know where the ball is. It'll count towards the, I'm not sure which prompt it is, but it'll count towards one of them. So there you go. Got a little wonky here at the end. I don't know what I was doing, but it's fine. It's a washcloth. I gotta weave in the ends. And then the other project I brought to share with you is this beautiful scarf. It is by Tangerine Designs. Roland brought it out to the car for me this morning, and he clearly dropped it on the ground, and it got covered in all the grasses that Steve mowed up last night. So I knit this using Webb's house brand, Valley Yarns, and let's see, it has buttons. It's actually supposed to be a long, actually, I should make that be a drinking game. Seriously, if there was gonna be one for this show, it would be the word actually. It's supposed to be a long scarf, but I didn't want a long scarf. I'm not a scarf person. I don't like knitting scarves. I don't like wearing scarves particularly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but I'm more of a cowl person, so I changed it and made it cowly. But the pattern has these yarn hole V's, there we go. And so I just used a few of them to slap some buttons in and let it ride on there. And I knit it with 3 different colors. 3? Yep, 3 different colors. And it's a great little DK weight, DK or worsted, I think it's a DK weight scarf. It has this detail where as you're changing colors, you start the next row early and you do it in the eyelets. It's very pretty. And it's got that airiness, so it traps the warmth and it keeps you nice and toasty. So, and the yarn has worn very well, very, very well. I knit this last June or July, I want to say. I'm slowly working my way through my projects that I can find. I've given away so many and I've sold a few in the shop that I can't I'm not going to be able to share everything I knit during my hiatus, but this is one of the projects I can share. And then these are some wooden buttons that I got when I worked at Timberland in the apparel production department. We would get all these buttons like YKK zippers. I didn't realize how nice the zippers were, but we would get buttons and zippers to pick for putting on the shirts and the jackets and all that stuff. And occasionally we'd clean out all the old buttons, and I'd just take home these, you know, it's usually a 1 or 2 off. Like you can see, these are different sizes, but I don't care. They're cool wooden buttons. So wooden with blue paint. So anyways, these are so fun. And it's got some good memories attached to it, and I love it. It's a good scarf. So you should definitely check out some of Casey's designs. She's always coming up with something new. Always, always, always. So I want to share with you a shop update. I did it a little bit different this week. I've never used the software on the phone for editing movies. And with the new phone, I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. Did you know I got a new phone? I got a new phone, but I think you knew that. So I tried the software, and instead of trying to hold up and they're noisy and maybe it's not a good angle and you can't see it, like the car recording in the rain episode, I took the shop photos, which are always nice photos, and put them with some music, and here they are. So this week's update, or last Thursday they went live, but there's still some in the shop if you're interested, is Firefly. So here it is. Sitting on my coffee. I know. It gets you to like eye level with me, so as soon as we're done talking, I'll have some drink. And isn't this a fun shirt with these sleeves? Okay, thought I'd share that. It's the little things that make you happy. What else to tell you? So in the near future, we're gonna have, I don't like to advertise it too much because I tend to make stitch markers based on what my mood is, right? It's a really creative thing for me, and I love making them, but I kind of follow where inspiration leads me, and if I have to do something, it's the same thing as knitting. If I have to make something, it kind of kills the joy out of it. So, but coming soon, I've got on the, what should I call it? On the desktop, some Supernatural and Harry Potter. So I'm really excited to do those updates, but I know that there's a lot of fans out there, and so I've got to make sure they're really good. So I'll be working on those over the next month. So that's what's going on with the shop. What else? Boy Adventures. Let's see. I told you my aunt was here. She was visiting for a week, and so I spent time every day with them, and then the boys spent some time in the evenings with her and my parents, because she stayed with my parents. So it was a big family gathering every night. So that was really pleasant. And then this weekend, Steve's parents came to visit on Sunday, so we had a great day with them. The boys love to see them. We don't see them as much as we'd like to. They live 2.5 hours away, and riding in the car is really hard for me lately. the last year and a half. I have really bad restless legs, so I can't get very far before I have to stop and get up and walk around and do something, stretch, and then I get back in and I can last even less time. So, and I used to sleep in the car, like that used to be knit on the way there and sleep on the way back, and we'd go for a really long day, come back at 10 o'clock at night and I'll have slept a little bit, but I can't get comfortable enough to sleep anymore. So anyways, it was really great that they came to us. So we had fun with that. And what else? Rose in camp. Tristan's, he's doing so great. It's like something in his head flipped. He's 4 now, so he's gotten up and gotten dressed and brushed his teeth every single morning for like 10 days now in a row. This is like his new thing. So there have been some interesting outfits. Like today it was blue sweatpants and Paw Patrol swimming shirt. So it's 93 degrees out and he's wearing blue sweatpants. And I don't want to push too hard. He's not rolling. With Roland, I could be like, oh honey, you want to look cute. And he'd change. Tristan is like, you ask me, I'm going to throw a tantrum. So I let it be. You know what? That's not the battle I'm picking. And Steve brought extra shorts to school with him because obviously 93 degrees, he's gonna get hot. The school's air conditioned though, which is why he always wants to wear pants, because I know he's cold inside, but then if they go outside, he's gonna be hot. But I'm thinking today it'll be a play in the gym, not go to the playground type of day. So that's it. That's what I have to share. I hope you're enjoying what's going on in your knitting world. Have you seen the new, I'm gonna try and talk about something I can't say. All right, I can say, but I don't know the name of it. The shift cowl, have you seen those? Oh, I started following the hashtag on Instagram. That's a mistake and a half. I gotta cast one on. I have some hand spun from Steve and Andy. Leading Men Fibroids. I have a skein of his hand spun that I kind of want to, I have had it for a while. It's just been, and I know you're not supposed to let it sit, so it would be really nice to pull that out and use it. But I just have to find the perfect skein to go with it. You know, hand spun's so special. I'm not a spinner. So having some is like, oh, what am I going to use it with? So anyways, maybe you'll see that next time. That's what I'm thinking about. And I'm all out of knitted baby sweaters in the shop, so I need to knit up a couple more just to get in there. I like to have some knitwear for the non-knitters to, if they stumble upon my shop, to buy. So, and I love knitting baby stuff, so it's good. It's a good outlet for me. So I'm roasting, I'm sweating, in fact. So I'm gonna call it quits. But thankfully those bugs stopped biting at my ankles. So you have a great 10 days or so until we talk again, and enjoy what's going on in your knitting world. Mwah! Bye y'all.